So, my month-long trip in China started in Beijing and ended in Shanghai. We stopped in 12 different cities. We took like bus, trains, which the trains are really different. You can take like a 20-minute train from northern China to southern China for just $10. It's crazy. But being black in China, I found that I was treated like a celebrity. I also got special favors, like people would just give me free stuff. And I basically didn't get left alone, but I was okay with that because I liked the attention and liked being a celebrity for basically a month. There was one time where we stopped in a little city and we had gone there the same time as a big field trip, and there was like a group of like 70 middle school kids who asked for pictures nonstop for 2 hours straight. And it was really cute, so I was okay with it and it was fine. But different people have different experiences. That was just mine, and I like China, so yeah.
I think they think I'm Beyonce in China. So many people asked me for a picture, and a lot of people just started recording.
That's cute. Picture.
This little boy said, Beyonce who?
He was like, I'm playing with my toy.
This time around was bunch of women surrounded in my room when I came. Jesus,
So I went May of 2019 for the entire month. The trip was actually extremely fun. China is extremely beautiful. We mainly were in Beijing and Nanjing. We took a train from Beijing to Nanjing after staying in Beijing for about 2 weeks. So because I was studying abroad, I had an easier time getting around because the people that I was with, a lot of them did speak Mandarin. So it was like I said, it was easier to get around than if you were like by yourself without anybody to help translate for you, or if you didn't know Mandarin at all. When we weren't in class, we were doing a lot of touristy stuff. The hotel we stayed at happened to be like right next to like this shopping district. So we would like walk over there at night and like paddle on the river because they had like those paddle boat bike thingies, or like go shopping and whatnot. And then we also did stuff like go to temples, go to the Great Wall. The Great Wall is actually a lot of stairs, which was very surprising. It's very tiring to walk up them, but I feel like if you do go to China, definitely do that. Like walk the Great Wall. Also, the food was amazing. They have a lot of like veggies and stuff in their dishes. So if you are somebody who's vegetarian, they have a lot of meatless options. However, if you're not going to like a chain restaurant, a lot of the dining places are set up like in a family style way. So be prepared to share food with people. Also, we took the subway to get to a lot of places. Their subway system is extremely clean and easy to use. Even if you don't speak Mandarin at all, it's still pretty easy to figure out and use. And also, it's like extremely safe. They have like a lot of security guards, and they even like do like a TSA type thing before you can actually enter the station. And then one thing, if you're a foreigner, especially if you are a black woman and you have braids, be prepared for people to ask to take pictures with you, especially if you're in a heavy tourist area. So if you go to like the Forbidden City, you're going to run into a lot of tourists who are Chinese visiting like to Beijing and the Forbidden City and whatnot. And those are the people who are going to ask to take pictures with you. And not going to lie, sometimes they're not going to ask, they're just going to take pictures of you. So just be aware of that. And I also had like a few people, older people, touch my braids, which I was like, ugh, what are you doing? But yeah, that was pretty much all I could think of off of the top of my head. I do have a really wild story of me and my buddy on the trip and the chaperone trying to buy knockoff bags, which is like kind of really hilarious what happened. But yeah, I'll insert some pictures and clips at the end. This was the hotel we stayed at, which is in downtown Beijing. This was from the Forbidden City. It was actually extremely hot that day. This is from the Summer Palace. This was also from the Summer Palace. The Summer Palace, the way it's built, it's actually a lot cooler there than like the outside temperature. The Great Wall, Confucius Temple in Nanjing, which is actually a shopping district. This is from when someone asked us to take pictures with their child.
Hi everyone, come spend the day with me in Hangzhou, China. So first we got picked up by my dad's friend, and let's take a look into the details of this car. I've never been in a Maybach van before. I didn't even know they made vans. But it was honestly really nice. And the first place he took us was the silk market. And here's where you can purchase anything silk related. So there's scarves, pajamas, dresses. So now that we got into this beautiful silk scarf shop, my mom said that she wanted to get a scarf. So we looked at this beautiful print. She ended up getting it. It's double-sided. It was so pretty. And what I learned is that when we're out on the silk market, you are allowed to haggle. Everything else was made of 100% mulberry silk. So to be able to get these beautiful pieces at such a cheap price, I think the most we spent was $40, was honestly amazing. And we ended up also getting this silk scarf as well for my sister. She started in college. We wanted her to have a keepsake from our trip from China. And now we went into a silk bag shop. And the details on these bags are beautiful, all hand embroidered. Everything was just so beautiful. This is one of the few bags that I loved that caught my eye. I wish I really took a bag, but I ended up not. Maybe next time, if I ever get a chance, I will. Then we went to get some bites to eat. Went to this beautiful restaurant, served in traditional style, round table style, bringing the food plates one by one. That mung bean cake, so delicious. My favorite meal out of everything we ate that day. We got some of the yam dish, cold beef dish, pork belly and quail eggs. And this was like a sweet and sour pork dish with fruit inside. Then we got a fish dish from my mom. Everything just looked so beautiful. Tofu soup. And yeah, this was an overview of what the plates were looking like. And literally after I filmed that, they brought another plate for us to try. The food was so delicious. And then after that, we went to Wozhen, which is like a village in China which specializes in dyes and the traditional Chinese boats. So here we are walking around the outside of the dye shop. And here we are looking at all these beautiful colors and pieces that are drying. And here's an example of what the inside of the dye shop looks like. Very traditional setup. You can also make the dye. You can make your own dye pieces in there as well. And here we are at the dye, gift shop. After so many beautiful pieces that are hand dyed by the workers here that you could also buy as well. But then we decided to walk around the compound. You can see the beautiful boats passing by. And everything was just so beautiful. You really felt like you were in that time, stopped to get a drink. And as we were looking around the scenery by the waterfront again, we decided that we needed to get on one of these boats ourselves and experience everywhere everyone was experiencing. So we got on the boats. Here's everyone on the boat. We were with this other family. They were super nice. And our boat ride driver, needed to bring the boat, was super nice as well. And he was explaining to us the history of the place. We got to look at the beautiful scenery. It was really nice, really calming. It takes you all around the compound and drops you off at the end, and then you walk your way all the way back to the front. It was really nice. You could pass other boats as well. You could wave, say hi, and you could see people dressed up in traditional apparel taking pictures at the waterfront. It's a really scenic place, great for photos. After we got off, I got a quick drink, freshly pressed watermelon juice, which was really bomb. And then I got some more videos of our walk back to the car. We stopped at this small little place that was illustrating traditional Chinese weddings and how they were done. That was really nice. And unfortunately, on our way back, it started to rain, so we had to wait. Perks of traveling during a typhoon, right? And then we drove all the way back, stopped at the mall to get a quick bite. These malls are huge. They're over 7 stories high, super beautiful. Tonight we ate traditional Cantonese food. Same circular setup. Made the foods one by one. Everything was delicious. This was a traditional Chinese porridge. The food was really, really good. A lot of different options, even vegetarian options for my dad. And my favorite was this dish right here. The dessert's so good. And these pork dumplings. And then that's the end of it.
I have been waiting for this question because China is one of my favorite places in the world, and my biggest piece of advice would be going with the same curiosity that you're going to find people approach you with. What I mean by that is most of Asia is very homogeneous, so you're going to get people that look the same, and so when someone like you comes in looking foreign, they're going to know that you're foreign and they're going to give attention to you. What people don't understand is that all of that attention is not just negative. And for me, that was the case. I was getting invited to people's houses. People wanted to give me their babies to hold. I was going to the club for free, every day. On top of that, me being able to speak Mandarin Mandarin allowed me to actually talk to people and be like, okay, you want to take a picture of me? Why? They'd be like, I've never seen a black person in real life and you're just really beautiful. I love your hair, blah, blah, blah. However, if you go in not knowing how to speak the language, you're probably going to have that disconnect and just think people are staring at you because you're black. Which they are, but not in a negative way that you often get in a lot of other places. Another thing, personal space is not really a concept, so just be prepared for people to be all up in your space and not make a big deal out of it, because to them it's not a big deal. I lived in Beijing and it's one of the most populous cities in the world, so it was often that people would be right up on me and I'd just be like, it's fine, it's okay. Food situation, if you like Chinese food in the United States, it's not the same type of Chinese food. It's better. So don't go in trying to order General Tso's chicken because that don't exist in Beijing. Oh, and if you don't speak Mandarin, you're definitely gonna need Google Translate and that little picture taking thing on Google Translate, because you're gonna have to take a lot of pictures. The food is delicious, okay? And it's mostly given and served in like a communal form, so you share with the people around you. Remember, it's not Western, so it's not individual, it's more so collective focus, and you'll definitely see that. If you'll be in Beijing, go to Sanlitun, because that's where you're gonna party for your life, and they party until like 6 a.m. there, and you will get in for free, darling. I can do another part if you have specific questions, but China is really an amazing place, and I think Chinese people and their culture, oh my gosh, I absolutely love Chinese culture, and I cannot wait to go back as soon as I can.
Places to visit in China. 1. Great Wall of China. 2. Shanghai Disneyland. 3. World Park. Beijing. 4. White Horse Temple.